Hello, everyone. This is Lisa Andrus, psychic medium and author, and this is your weekly reading for Monday, the 18th of November to Sunday, the 24th of November, 2013. And today, as you can see, I'm using the Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. I have, as always, pre-shuffled the deck, and I'm going to draw 3 cards as I feel guided for our week, okay? And that means I just kind of go where my hand goes. I don't think about it too much, and I just draw the cards, okay? So this is our Monday and Tuesday card. This is Wednesday and Thursday. And finally, our Friday, Saturday, Sunday card. So let's see what the week has in store for us. Okay, Monday and Tuesday. It says, take back your power, and it's Archangel Raziel. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. I recently downloaded on the Kindle the new book called Assertiveness for Earth Angels by Doreen Virtue, and I have to say, as an indigo, and if those of you that don't know what an indigo is, it just means that in a pinch, if you want to look into it further, I have a blog on my website called What is an Indigo? But it means for me that I've just not been afraid to speak my truth. So I wasn't sure if I needed that book. And then I heard Doreen Virtue's last radio show, and I decided that it was probably something that would help me. And for many earth angels and light workers, or many of you listening to this, it's been hard for a lot of you to speak your truth. It's funny because I'm also getting the message, just admit the truth to yourself. But it's time for those of you that have kind of been allowing yourself to either be victimized or used or just feel uncomfortable by not speaking your truth. It's time to speak your truth and to take back your power. There's nothing you can't do, and that is truth. I met a couple of people yesterday when I did a local expo, meaning I was giving mini readings all day, and a couple of people that I'd known one as a client, and I was really grateful to be able to go to dinner with them and talk to them afterwards. And one of the gals asked me, do you feel like we choose all of the things that happen to us in our life? And do you feel like those things are thrown at us? And my response was, I do believe that we choose some of the things that, are the circumstances in our lives, and we don't necessarily know why our soul chose that. But personally, I choose not to feel a victim about many things, or at least I try not to. I mean, I'm human just like everybody else. And I just felt guided to tell you that story because sometimes things do get frustrating, and sometimes we do create our own prisons of sorts, which I believe just came up in one of the readings in the last couple of weeks. It's time for us to think outside the box, and even if we don't see a solution, there might be a solution, and some of that might just be speaking our truth and, just letting the chips fall where they may, as Doreen Virtue says. Okay, so Monday and Tuesday is a time to speak your truth, and maybe imagine that it will turn out better than you thought and not worse. Okay, this is our Wednesday, Thursday card. And it says clairvoyance, and it's Archangel Raziel again. And it says, I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. Okay, so what I'm hearing now is that this is a time of opening, and that many of you are kind of budding, either going to the next level with your spiritual gifts or starting to realize that you have intuition. Archangel Raziel is helping you with that, and I'm kind of hearing that he's helping you, lots of you, when you sleep. And so some of you may have had times lately where you've been thinking, I'm waking at strange times, and it might be because you're receiving downloads of information. I've also been talking to a lot of people who are budding with their gifts, meaning that they're just opening up, because I wrote a book called Gifted, which is a guide for medium psychics and intuitives. and in such, I've had an opportunity to speak to some people, and I just feel that a lot of them are frustrated, which I understand because as a young medium, when I was a young medium, and I'm still growing, but when I was first new to it, I can't remember a time when I wasn't frustrated because I was seeking information and I felt like there were all these mediums and not enough teachers, and the book I was finding what they weren't right, and I wasn't opening up fast enough. And you can't really rush the process. You have to honor it. Realize that not all of life is about the action steps, and sometimes if you don't feel like taking an action step, don't force it. Know that you're being helped behind the scenes because, as the Wednesday, Thursday card says, you're getting some downloads as you sleep. So just be open to the possibilities, okay? Now, for the weekend, oh, yay. Prosperity. Archangel Ariel, your material needs are provided as you follow your intuition and manifest your dreams into reality. It's funny because this is just a wonderful reading and a wonderful card to get because I feel like there are many of you and many of us, people listening to this that we've had some financial challenges in the last few years. For me, I wrote a little bit about it in Gifted, but I felt like my life completely fell apart in 2010. That meant financial, material, otherwise, and I kind of had to do some restructuring, which led me to eventually move across the country back home to Minneapolis and rebuild my life. And I can't say what's going to happen from one day to the next, but I didn't know that I would become the author that I am, that I would develop more as a psychic medium and help people more by writing a book. And I actually just wrote my first fiction book because I've always wanted to write stories. That's actually available on Amazon right now because it's a Christmas romance. So if you like fiction and you like Christmas romance, it's called Dubickis, Dubickis. But I digress because it relates to the prosperity in that some of us have the prosperity card for the weekend, and that some of us have had some work to do. And it's really interesting to me because this entire week has a theme, which is, it's time for us to stand in our power. Our gifts are developing more and more, and the prosperity will come if you open your arms and allow yourself to receive it and to believe that it's there even if it hasn't appeared yet. Many of you are taking steps, and it's hard, I know, because as humans, many of us are doers, and it's hard to not always take action steps. But what they're saying is, many of the action steps they've already been taken, and instead of thinking about the past and what hasn't gone right, think of all of the progress that you've made, and now things are just really starting to come to fruition. Even if you're frustrated and you don't believe that you're seeing results, what this is saying to me is that results are on the way. So hang in there. Check my website, lisaandress.com. I've got a tab that says blog, and I have lots of blogs on there. If you've been thinking about writing books, whether fiction or nonfiction, I've got many for authors. I've got many with the metaphysical book that I wrote, Gifted, some samples there and more. I have a blog, like I said, called What is an Indigo? And my next metaphysical book, which will be out in April or May of 2014, is for the indigos. It's called Indigo Warrior. And it's going to be a guide for indigo adults and the parents of indigo children. Okay, so hang in there. Believe your prayers are being answered and they have been heard, because everything is going to turn out okay. Okay, so have a good week, and I will talk to you next week.